Welcome back to Themed Journals. I'm April. All right, so I sort of forgot that I didn't make my boho writing board, so that'll be the next video, but I sort of got off on this project. So this is what the projects are. I'm making specimen windows. So you can see I'm using some of the faux labels that we made. Yeah. Now this is what they'll look like at the end. They look really old, don't they? I love it. So let's, normally I don't discuss what I'm using for using, you know, supply wise, but I do want to discuss that with you now because this needs quite a few things. Bandit, stop. He's digging in my back of my chair and I don't know why. Okay, so the first thing you need is your playing cards. Then you need to decide what type of template you want. Now I'm using this one. I had been, it's similar to this, sort of like that. Now I have a couple different ones. I have this one, which I really like. And then I also have a fatter one. Okay, here's the fatter one. So you can see this is not the template I originally used, but that's okay. It's about experimentation, finding what you like, what you want to use, and things like that. So I made the template, and then I also ordered Tim Holtz's Ideology Field Note Snippets packet. There's 134 pieces in this. I also added a few extras that I'll use for something else. I have an idea what I'm going to use it for. Just not this, because you need the teeny weeny stuff. Teeny weeny stuff. And I also got out all of the long field note specimen labels that we did. So those I have. Then I also have vintage photo, and I have ground espresso. I have this out. I have chosen some washi tape for this project. So choose some. Now this is for my spring journal. So this is why I'm going to make a field notes journal. So that's why I'm doing it with this. I got out my splatters again. I'm only using one. And instead of making them blood splatters, I'm making them like dust splatters. Let me see if I can show you one that has some. So you can see in that corner it has a splatter. Now you may remember that I also made I aged some tape, and I'm using aged tape on this as well. All right. Those are what we're using initially. You can, of course, you have different things in your stash than I have in mine. I bought these clear stickers for the spring packets, so I'm using the pink right now. I've got pink, white, and yellow. I think I might switch to yellow and see how that looks. I mean, the pink, you can see that's so beautiful. Now the other thing you're going to need is cellophane or thick paper. So what I've been doing is I've saved all of my envelopes that I've had over the last 2 years, knowing I was going to do this, and this is what I'm using this for. All right, so the first thing that I do is I use my junky, of course you're going to need your junky glue and your good glue. All right, because we use our junky glue just to get us to the sewing machine. So you take one of these things that you've cut up, don't accidentally put your stuff over labels and stuff, but that's okay. You can use the rest of it for this. And then you glue down one side like that. And then you grab the second one. Oh yes, and I also have been using my script block. All right. So that's basically what I've been using for this. Oh, one more thing, I forgot. All right, let me just get this down and get it cutting on it. Now, okay, we're within the okay. So now you have to cut these out. Now I know some people only use one card for each per, they only use one card. I'm backing them up on 2 cards. It makes it a little bit more complicated, but I'm good with that. All right. Now, the next thing is to decide what flower you're going to use. Now, it doesn't matter. You need, all right, let me show you. I'll probably have one in here that is showable. Now I got these off of Amazon. Okay, so this is ideal for a specimen window, okay? It doesn't matter if it goes down there. Now, on the other hand, if you have something that goes like this, then you either have to put it like this in the specimen window, or you have to cut it, or it isn't in the specimen window at all. So I use the single ones for this. I don't use these. I keep those separate from the ones I am going to use. So we're going to use this one for this. I don't have a special container for this one. So it just gets stuck in there haphazardly. Okay, now you take off the sticker, because this is a sticker. All right. Then I hold the tail so it doesn't flop down, and you can put the flower in where you want it, and then I smooth it down as I go down. And as you can see, it hangs over. That's all right. I'll just leave that piece of cellophane on the floor. All right. All right. So this is going to be our altered playing cards for this particular journal. Now before I came on, I cut these out per the template, and I matched them up so that you can't see the opposite side from the opposite side. I don't know if that even makes sense. I got home and I wasn't feeling well. Oh, my sciatica was bothering me so bad. I have a bad crick in my neck, and that's been ongoing for a week now. It just accumulated today and said, you're done driving. Fortunately, I'd given my last ride, so I had my financial goal met, and oh, it's time to move on. Now normally I do each of these sides individually, but I haven't tried it together, and I don't, let's just face it, it doesn't work as good as cutting around this cellophane individually. Anyway, the last thing I have are these. All right, that's how I make them look old. So I've been saving my tea bags from tea dyeing for 2 years now. Yeah. So the next thing I do is just put glue around one side. And now this is just it's about distressing your card and making it look old, because remember, I'm going for vintage field journal. So that means that this is if you want in your head to think, oh, I need field journals that look old from, like, let's say the 1920s or something like that. Yeah. Now you'll need a little pair of scissors, because see how that you can see through it. you don't want to see through it. So I just take it along the bottom. And I just cut it out. All right. And throw the little pieces away. Okay, then, you know, if you've got extra stuff you need to glue down, then you just glue it down. Okay, so that's how you do this, and you just go down one side. Now you want to cover up all the white because the white is too white to make it look legit field journal-y, vintage field journal anyway. And we are going for vintage, so I hope you've enjoyed the Christmas Christmas package session or Christmas present episodes. I see that today was the last day of that. You'll see all the odds and ends I've been working on since then. Happy New Year to everybody. I meant to send out a community note on that, but yeah, my new year did not start out with a very good footing with me, so I'm hoping it's better from here on in. So all we can do is hope and pray. All right. All right. And you'll get little pieces of cellophane and plastic all around. I'm trying to think, it's cellophane. I've used cellophane for some of it, but that's not the real name for this. It's like transparency paper. Well, let me show you. See, this is cellophane right there because it's all wrinkly. That's cellophane right here. And I like it as much as I like this. I just can't remember the name for this one. Anyway, if you've been saving, stuff to, over the last, little bit, you should have some of this in your stash. If you don't, well, start saving your stuff. Or go out, I guess you'll have to get a box of real transparencies or something. And I have a box of transparencies around here somewhere. Notice where they're not. They're not on my desk. Yep. Yep. Now you'll notice that depending on what type of tea you drink, the bags all look different. Yeah. So this is more orange than, or yellow than the one on the front, but that's okay. We can, let's see if that stays down or not. We can darken it up, no problem. They'll all look vintage when we're done. I can promise you that. All right, nope, I guess that's not gonna stick. All right. Oh, I gotta stick your stuff down faster than fast if your glue dries pretty fast. So, and this is the junk, junk glue. The non-important glue. There we go. That's a good descriptor of that. And I'm happy to report everybody who got their journals at Christmas they were so happy to receive them. And my daughter was like, "Oh, this is so cool." And I says, "Oh yes, and the paper I used in your journal is the ones you dyed from onions." And she goes, "Oh, there you go, gift that keeps on giving." Oh, she's so funny, and she loved it. I told her, well, once you say this is, I love this recipe, it can go into here. And I says, I did put in real recipe cards this time. She laughed and laughed. I said, see, they have recipe stamped on them. They're real recipe cards. She had the nerve to tell me my index cards weren't recipe cards because they did not have recipe stamped on them. Totally my daughter, but anyway, very funny stuff. Okay, so the first thing I do is I take my vintage photo. Keep your glue open because this is where you glue down, you know, things that don't really want to be glued down. Let's put it that way. All right. So this is how we, you know, make the paper from the tea bags look even more grungy than before, because these are truly grungy slides because you want your specimen sites to look old. I mean, when you're a young, you know, field whatever, your book isn't going to look grungy, but you know, we like vintage things here in the journaling world, and so we grunge everything up to make it look old. Yep, true story. All right. By having these jagged edges, it really does make it look old. So let's turn it over, and now this is the front. That's the back. All right. Now, you can use a piece of this to put across, you know, make sure it doesn't have writing on it, but you could make it as a background or a side or an edge or something like that. Let me show you the one I did that on. Oopsie. Whoopsie doopsie. What the world? All right, well, this is why you need to go to the sewing machine sooner rather than later to sew it around with a straight stitch. Yeah, true story. I did this one this morning before I went to work. So I guess it dried out really quick. So let's see. Let's see here. Oh, here it is. See, you can use it as a, you know, a collage on the side of the thing. All right. Now I need to decide how I'm going to. Now, if I use one of these, I want one where it doesn't really hang off, because see, the problem with a see-through thing is you have to have something as long on this side to hide it. So my cutting the square into this card didn't really work very well this time. So this is the result. Now, I'm also looking for specific things, like they have little mushrooms. That's cute, because you want something that will go on the side and not necessarily hang over either edge. See? Yeah. All right. So that's what I'm looking for. I got little butterflies. Of course, I can't find anything. I should have had all this sorted out before I started the video, but I do stuff that's, you know. Here's a little one. Like that, or, you know, something like this that could go along the side. Yeah, like that. I also like to put this along the side because it really makes the the grungy tape makes it look really old. I mean, I'm so excited about this double-sided, you know, this tape like it is. Oh, I guess I'm on the wrong side. Yeah, when you're working with see-through tape, even with it grunged up, it's hard to see which side you should be taking it off first. Okay, so here's, I got a long one. All right, let's, and it doesn't matter that it is small. What matters is that it fits. See, that's too big. So anyway, like that. So I will put some on this side, and behind this, this is why you need to sew it. The bottom line is that you do need to sew this. Now, if you're not going to sew it, then you will want to glue everything down with good glue. I recognize some people don't sew, and I also recognize that it's okay. No big deal. Just glue everything down with good glue. But since I do sew, and I do have a sewing machine, even though I curse and swear at it quite a bit, I try not to curse and swear. I'm trying to give that up. But anyway, you know what I mean. Even though I hate it, and I say I hate it, like I hate doing bobbins on it, which I do. I do use it though. Now I'm using black thread to make it even look older, and as you saw, I also what do you call it? I'm leaving the danglies, if that makes sense. Let me show you. See, I'm leaving the threads. I think it adds character to that. Yeah. All right, I think that's all. Yeah. Okay, so we got that on both sides now. Let me put this back on the page. Let's see there. Sorry if I banged you guys, because that was me. All right, now. All right, let me, I'm using my good glue for this because I do want this to stay where I put it until I'm ready to sew through it. So there we go. And yes, you're going to look like, you know, a bomb denotated in your thing. Yeah. True story. Okay, so sometimes I like to put a little bit of this on, and I will put it over the film. Now what I do before I use it, see how this is a little darker and that's white? Well, I knock it back with Vintage Photo. So now I will just go around and put more Vintage Photo, and it looks old instantly. I love this. Another good reason to use archival inks, because you can do this and it won't, little drop of water or whatever won't make it run. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is start here Yep, there we go. And then go up here. No, I don't want to go over it. Let's see. Oh. All right, I tried to make it look old by also ripping it. Have a frayed edge, but let's face it, sometimes this washi tape does not want to cooperate with you. All right, hang on. There. Now we've got it. Now I've got to put this back on. All right. This time we're going to do it right. There. There. All right, so now you can't see that you can see it's on both sides, but it matches, if that makes sense. Okay, now what I've done is I've made a little extra room to hide either a mushroom or a butterfly. Now, if it comes over like this, let's see. It's too big. All right. Maybe I don't really want to use mushrooms on top of mushrooms. That looks ridiculous. Maybe I will want to use these. Let's see. No, I don't want to use that either. Maybe for a different one. Now see how this is narrow? Yeah. Now, what we could do, let's see. And yes, this will get really fiddlesome. And I use my my espresso for this. So in my next video, I'll take you back out to the living room and we'll go around the edges on this. Yeah. All right, so we got that done. All right, let's see if I like that or not. Let's see here. Oh, here. All right, let's see what is this? All right, it's a butterfly. Maybe I'll do a butterfly on here. Got to knock back that ink though because it's obnoxious. So I'm switching back to vintage photo, and you've seen me do this with stickers before. I just get all the white. Except this is not a sticker, it's a little cardstock butterfly. There. All right. I like that. That looks good on the front. Okay, now this is a little barren and it's bothering me. You know what? I don't like that. What else have I been doing in these? Just been collaging. Oh, I've been using sentiments as well. Oh, where's my sentiments? Okay, here we go. Maybe I'll add a sentiment to the back of this thing. Oh, come here. My hands just don't want to work. I'm getting to a point where I'm desperate to do something And I don't even have, I canceled my diabetic appointment today because I don't have insurance again. And I won't probably for a long time to come, because let's face it, inflation, they don't take into consider inflation for the state insurance. Now, let's see, do I want it that corner or this corner? Let's put it there. And if it looks still a little bit too white, now that I have it in its final resting place, you can add a little bit more vintage photo. It says Make-A-Wish. So there we go. They're easy peasy after you get through the fiddly part of deciding what you're going to use for it. Yeah, trying to get organized for the next one is a little difficult because I've made such a mess with the first one. Okay, so let me show you how I do these. I try really hard not to move it. Now, what you could do, let's do a different template. Let's do a short squat one. So this will give us more decoration space at the bottom of this, if that makes sense. Template 1, and we're going to put this template 2. All right. So for this one, I want a thicker bottom, so I'm going to put that right here at the top. Now, the other way to do this is by, if you have a 2-inch, if you have a 2-inch punch, it would be perfect for this. Mine's in my to be ordered through Amazon, but I haven't quite got to it yet. Okay, so I'm old schooling it, and there's nothing wrong with old schooling it. So you can do different, you know, windows, you can do different shapes, you know, whatever. So there we have it. That's not too bad. I sort of want a card that's not symmetrical on the sides. You know, the windows aren't symmetrical simply because, you know, you're out in the wild of whatever country and you're taking slides and you only have these types of materials. You don't have any way to make them even, so you're out there making a slide with your knife in the bush. It would not be even, I can promise you that. Of course, they wouldn't be making them like this neither, but they'd be slapping them in formaldehyde and putting them in a glass thing or whatever. But, you know, this is my world. And this is your world. This is our world. This is the Theme Journal journey, and we're having blasts of fun. All right, so, and if we don't want them even, we don't want them even, and that's okay. So, all right, how I know whether they're even or not is I turn them back to back. And of course, two sides are not going to be even. And this is where the this is where it gets fiddly. And of course, I'm blind as a bat and I can't see. Yeah, true story. All right, so you just get out your scissors now and snip and follow the score line that you put there with your now this does work better if you prep your surface first and you actually take your cards and you sand them with the sanding block, and trust me, the glue adheres better all the way around. Okay, so now we got a little bit in this corner we've got to cut out. All right. And like I said, it's a little fiddly, but this is all I got right now. And you work with what you got. All right. Can't have that. This is why my windows always get bigger than my specimen window gets so much bigger than my template, because I need to do each side. If I had a square one and a 2-inch square, you know what, I might look up a square punch, see how much they cost. They'll probably be about $23, like this 2-inch circle one. Ugh. Okay, that looks pretty good. I'm fairly, well, let's face it, April's not happy with it. This is what being a type A personality brings you. Nothing good, nothing good. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, let's see if this does the trick. All right. Haha. Okay, retract your pointy tools, especially sharp pointy ones. All right, now, again, no, I have to find that. Here's the cellophane that fell on the floor. All right, I'm going to use my cheap stuff. Well, at least I'm upscaling my plastic, and I feel really good about that. Isn't going into a landfill. So, all right. All right, now we're gonna have to find something special for a specimen, for the specimen window this time. Not that the things I haven't been using aren't special, it just, these are the ones I've wanted to do, and I'm glad I decided to go ahead and do them. And I'm going to cut them all out properly this time. We're not going to glue them together uncut. So, might go down to Hobby Lobby. I hate to say it. I've been shopping way too much at that store recently. But I may go down there and see if I can't get a square punch and a 2-inch circle punch and at least price them against Amazon. Amazon's gotten really arrogant recently and they're charging arms and 10 arms and 20 legs for stuff. It's ridiculous. We're in a financial crisis, haven't they heard? Okay, so, oops. I have some goodies over here. This is, yeah. Vellum. It's vellum. Duh, April. All right. Oh, and I cut it too short. All right, we'll have to use that for something else. That's all right. Let's see what we got here. All right, I guess it doesn't really matter what we got. All right, the one thing you want to remember when you're cutting stuff for your window is don't cut it too small. There. All right. Okay, let's take a peek at this. Oh, that looks so beautiful. Look at that. Okay, so that's what we're going to do for this one. And I'm going to use the good stuff to go around because I just want it on the edge. Just the edge. Keep this vellum in really good spot so when I get out to the other room it's not such a bad thing. Okay, oops. All right, gotta also get it on the side that you want it on first. Okay, so now see if that's the way you want it before you glue it finally. Yeah, okay, that looks good. So now we're going to glue this side. Oh, that looks really good. So now what we're going to do is we are going to glue it with the bad, you know, the bad glue is going to be used now. Like cheap glue. Cheap glue isn't bad glue, it's just cheap. Cheap, cheap, cheap. Yeah. Because this will dry quickly and prevent any problems from happening between now and the sewing machine. If you get a white wet glue and you try to go sew it, oh, it can really gum up your sewing machine. So I try to use cheap, quick drying glue so it doesn't do that to my poor sewing machine. Yeah, okay. All right. And see how quickly that glued? All the purple's gone, it means it's dry. All right, we're just gonna do one side this time. All right, let's cut this off in a straight line so I can put it down on the edge. All right. Sometimes you still have tea on stuff. You just wipe it into your little trash bin and that you have on your desk. I'm sorry, I've been slack on putting up, what do you call it right now? Shorts. I finally got caught up sort of on my shorts this week, or last night when I came home at like 1:30, 11:30, quarter to 12. I didn't drive that late. Okay. And if you use a straight edge to do this, a straight cut edge, then you don't have to go in and cut the tea bag from the inside window. All right. So we got all the way around that. Let's flip it over. Let's go around this side now. All right. I'm so excited for the spring field journal journal. That makes any sort of sense. I am very excited about that. I got so much stuff to do for it. So I thought I'd get started on these specimen windows because it's going to take me a minute to do these. But I think they're a bunch of fun too. Try to decide if I'm going to do enough for just one per journal or if I'm going to do all of them specimen windows. I'm not sure. I haven't made up my mind. But in the meantime, there's plenty to make, so I don't have to make that crucial decision right now. Now you'll notice that right here, they sort of overlapped on the, there, right there. Okay, there we go. All right. So if you have like almost white tea bags, don't worry about it. You can darken them up like this, and because you've had tea in them, the tea, where the tea rested or dried, they'll still have inking over, and we'll bring those out like up here. Right here. No, I'm not done on this side. All right. Some days. Ugh. All right. So yeah, I pulled a bunch of these vellum sheets out, you know, tags, small tags, stuff like that, poster board stuff. And just use whatever's in your stash. You don't have to do it exactly like I do. That's the thrill of doing a journal. You can, you know, use my idea. And I like, okay, for example, the envelopes I did for the sewing journal and the glitz and glam journal for Christmas presents, those are, I've used those pockets on 2 or 3 different journals, and you would not recognize them from one journal to the next. And even though I got the style of how to cut it and, you know, how to cut it up and fold it, I got the initial information from Tasha. By having different types of materials and different ideas to add to it, it makes it look completely different, even though it's a from someone else. I made those pockets my own. I love those pockets I made for those 2 journals and for the baking journal. Yeah, never made any that looked like that before, so it was an absolute thrill. All right. All right, so now we'll do the same to this one really quick. See how it brings out the imperfections of the bag? Oh, I love it. All right. You still have to watch out for the tea bags. They don't like to stick down on the corners, just like any other thing that you use on older playing cards, that's for sure. All right, so here's what it looks like. That's the front. This is the back. Now we are going to, I think, yep, we're definitely going to use some of this. Cost me enough money. All right. I'm going to use this, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull some strings out to make it even look older. Fraying the edge can really improve the age look. And then I'm going to pull a few off the top. All right, I'm liking that. All right. All right. So this would be, ooh, don't go down there. This will be the base of our collage. I'm going to use it on both sides. And again, I'm going to fray it. I like the frayed look in certain things. Definitely vintage stuff. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I finally got around to, I did finish all of my boho journals, or boho Franken fabrics for the Patreon. So I will be getting those pictures up this week, and I will be opening up Patreon. So if you want to join Patreon, I will announce what day that is on my next video, and you guys can sign up in whatever tier level that you want. And each month you'll get something different. You can cancel at any time. I'm going to try to keep the prices down because, you know, this is, whew, wow, yeah, inflation's bad. Okay, now, I like that. Now what I also been doing on that, because that's too white for me, it's too stark white, I've just been rubbing some more vintage photo over it. I have an idea for making more faux labels, because I'm sure I'm going to run out between now and the time that we get done with all these. Yeah, so we'll be making more vintage faux labels, and I want to experiment with my next set for my next idea. If that even makes any sort of sense. All right. Then I'm going to do the same on this side. I did get my Go Imagine account up. And if you want to do Go Imagine rather than buying through my website, every platform I put stuff up on is going to be way more expensive than my website. Just an FYI. Because each website has their own sets of ways of making money, and they charge you a fee. And that's okay. On Go Imagine, at least it's given to kids who are hungry. So it's a charitable organization, and they donate 100% of their 5% profits that they take from your sale, and they donate it to children who are hungry. So I can get on board with that. Total respect. Ooh, look at how nice that turned out. Yeah. All right, let's see here. Now I think I'm going to do a little oh yeah, there you go. And then I'll sew around this to add further interest to this. All right, what do we want on this side? Let's see. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Oh, well, it's too late. I forgot to do around the edge, but actually I don't mind that being a little darker white. Let's see. Yeah, that doesn't work for me. Oh, that's a bug. All right. No, that doesn't work for me either. All right. Let me keep looking. See, I don't want it covering that number. Oh, oh, oh. We got it. Because sometimes you have your main classification number and then you have a subset of classification numbers. Ha 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 ha. All right, let's see if I need more photo. Vintage photo. All right, that's better. Oh, no, I needed that off. All right, it's getting late and I got other stuff to do I got to do tonight. So thank you so much for joining me on today's theme journal journey. I am so excited for this particular style of one. I think I'm going to do some more square ones like that because that was a lot of fun. I had more room to work. So there we have it. That's what we did together. In our next video, I will take us to the sewing machine and sew around all those other ones I have done. And then we'll get back to the, what do you call it? Boho. Yeah, the boho. The boho writing boards. Ooh, boy, yeah, I'm tired. I had to lay down when I got home this morning or this afternoon, and my back and everything was killing me, man. All right. Now what I will do on these, I don't know, should I? Nah, we're gonna leave them. All right, thank you so much for joining me today. Please like this video. Please subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you know when the next theme journal journey is going to begin. And share this video with your friends. You all have a lovely day, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye.